Hey everybody, I'm Jack Reed with Future Pastimes, and I'm the designer of the Ekaz and Moritani expansion, which is the third expansion for the classic Dune board game, the 2019 Gale Force 9 edition. And one of the variants in that expansion is Homeworlds, where each faction has a Homeworld token with a new advantage. And we're going to be specifically focusing on Giedi Prime, which is the Homeworld for House Harkonnen. So you're going to have a Giedi Prime token here. It's got the faction logo on the back in case you can't recognize the planet by sight. And you're going to put your reserves there as the Harkonnen. So you start the game with your 10 forces in Carthage, and the other 10 will be here. And there's an accompanying Homeworld card, which has a new advantage for the Harkonnens for as long as they have a minimum threshold, what we call high threshold. And for them, it is at least 7 of their forces on Giedi Prime. So that advantage is going to be that they're going to get 2 spice from the spice bank if they collect spice from any desert territories or homeworlds during the spice collection phase this turn. So they're incentivized to go after spice out in the desert, but also to attack another player's homeworld, which is something that you can do with your shipping and movement action. You can ship to someone else's homeworld and fight them there, or just occupy the planet if there are no reserves there at all. Now, if the Harkonnen dips below 7 of their forces, they're going to flip the card over and they will lose their high threshold advantage. And then at low threshold, many of the factions will have a penalty or disadvantage, but the Harkonnens have no penalty. So they don't really care so much about what goes on their own home planet. However, if someone does occupy Giedi Prime, so either they beat the Harkonnen there in a battle, or if there are no reserves, they just occupy it, they're going to be getting a 2 spice income from their spice bank in the spice collection phase, and they'll get this advantage, which is the occupier or their ally gains the Harkonnens' extra free treachery card if their hand is not full whenever the Harkonnens buy treachery cards. So if the Harkonnens have a full hand, then they're not too worried about what happens if somebody is going to occupy Giedi Prime. But if they don't, they're going to want to make sure that they try to boot somebody out there. And once you occupy someone else's homeworld, you are considered the occupier there until they get rid of you completely. And it's not easy to get your own forces onto your own homeworld if you have none there. It is done through revival. So typically you're talking about 3 forces that you are bringing in there. Now, every faction is going to get a home field advantage for battles on their own homeworld, and that is the number here. So it's going to be a +2 added to the dial, whether you're at high or low threshold. It's the same for Harkonnen on both sides. And that is also the number of forces that the Harkonnens would lose if there was a laser gun shield explosion on Giedi Prime. That is from their undialed forces. So anyone thinking that they're going to bring a laser gun and shield and try to wipe out a lot of a player's forces may be in for some disappointment. So I really love these tokens. You put these right out in front of your shield because your reserves are not a secret element of the game. I like to have it pretty close to the board as a reminder that you can attack other people's homeworlds. I think this one is a pretty good one for the Harkonnen. They don't have a natural income, so this makes up for it a little bit. They're going to get 2 spice, and that's just 2 spice as a flat rate. They're not going to get 2 spice for each desert territory or homeworld that they collect from. So it's a small little extra perk, but if they still control Carthage in advanced, that's 2 spice they're getting. So getting a +4 spice, in addition to any spice that you would be collecting, because that's what you're doing, is you're collecting spice out in the desert, or you're attacking someone else's homeworld and getting income there. That's a nice way to bolster how much spice you're getting. So it may influence a Harkonnen player about what they do. They maybe say, you know what, it might be worth going after getting into some fights while you're going after spice out in the desert, or it may be worth shipping some forces to a weakened homeworld in order to attack them there and try to get a little extra spice you squeeze out of them. So that's how the Harkonnen homeworld card works for them. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or commentary about the homeworld, this one in particular, or homeworlds in general. And if you've seen these in action, let me know how it's been working out. Has it affected the game? Has it changed up how you play Harkonnen at all? Was it just an extra nice little windfall, or did it not come into play at all? Let me know your anecdotes as they come up. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.